Today I want to show you guys how to solve the picture frame problem. So on here I've got a 3" by 4" picture, and the border, the frame, which is this all the way around, I need that to cover 18 square inches. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label the thickness of my border, and the thickness has to be the same all the way around, so I'm going to use a variable to represent that. I'm going to go ahead and mark it on all four sides just because I need it to be that size all the way around. So if we could think about how big the whole picture is going to be, from top to bottom, we can see there's going to be an X segment. That thickness is X plus 3 inches plus X. So the height is going to be 2X plus 3 when you add all of that together. The width here is going to be X plus 4 plus X, and so that's going to make it 2X plus 4. Now that's the whole area of everything. Let's suppose we subtracted out just the picture. And let's say I have my 3 by 4 picture right here. It's a little bit smaller here, but if that's 3 by 4, what that's going to be is 12 square inches on the inside. So if I subtract out 12 square inches, what I get is the leftover part, which is the frame. And that leftover part should be 18 square inches. So this is the equation we're working with, and I'm going to copy this on over to the next slide. My next goal is to multiply this out and solve for x. The way we solve anything that has x squared in it is we need to set it equal to 0. And you might say, hey, I don't see the x squared yet. Well, that's because I haven't multiplied out the factored part. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that with the Punnett square. So when we do that, we get 4x squared, and there is the key. There's the issue. We have an x squared term. The rest of this becomes 6x and 8x and 12. So the red, and when we multiply all of it together and combine like terms, we get 4x squared plus 14x plus 12. The next thing is we subtract out a 12 from above, and we have the 18 over there, which we will need to subtract 18 from both sides. So we subtract out 12, and we get 4x squared plus 14x minus 18, because we subtract 18 from both sides, equals 0. You always want to set these equal to 0, that way you can factor it and solve for it. First thing now that I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out a 2. We call it the greatest common factor. And you notice I can check my answer by distributing the 2 back out. When I distribute the 2, I get the expression I just came from, the equation I just came from. So just make sure 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. So for the last part of this, I need to factor 2x squared plus 7x plus minus 9, and I know it's going to be something times x plus something, and something times x minus something. The key here is I need to figure out where this 2 goes. It might go with the plus or the minus. And then the 9, I have a few ways to factor that. Negative 9 could be negative 3 and 3, or negative 9 and 1, or negative 1 and 9. So after some trial and error, I found out which of those configurations it is. I'm going to show you the end of my trial and error. So here I'm trying 2x plus 9 and x, or 1x, minus 1. I tried multiplying those together, and I got 2x squared, and the 9x minus 2x becomes 7x, which is what I wanted, and negative 9, which is what I wanted up there. So this is the right configuration. Let me just write this down, equal to 0. And the last part of this is I need to make each of these equations equal to 0. So we have 2x plus 9 equals 0, could be one answer. Or x minus 1 equals 0 could be the other. In solving each of these, Let me solve this one first. Subtract 9 from both sides. We get 2x equals negative 9. And divide by 2, we get the answer of x equals negative 9 halves, or negative 4.5. On this equation, we're going to add 1 to both sides, and we get x equals 1. Now, the thing we're looking for, if you remember way back here, we're looking for how wide or how thick the frame is around the border. And since that is a length or a distance, it cannot be negative, so that means that our answer cannot be negative. So I'm going to cross that one out, but it's important that I found out both of the solutions from the quadratic just so I know to eliminate that one. And our final answer is x equals 1. Now what that means is that our border has a thickness of 1. Let me write down, so let's change these. Instead of x, that's 1. And we can actually check this. So our whole big frame from here to here is going to be 1 plus 4 plus 1. In other words, it's 6 inches wide. And here it's going to be 1 plus 3 plus 1, or in other words, 5 inches tall. And that is how big the whole picture frame must be in order to use exactly 18 square inches. We want to check that. 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 minus 12, which is the inside picture frame, is indeed 18, and our work checks out. Thank you for watching.